If I told you I'm a college student running 10 different eBay stores but only spending 20 minutes a day managing them, you'd probably think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I'm going to be breaking down the full system I use and how I went from doing everything by hand to eventually scaling up to 10 eBay accounts with a setup that's almost fully automated and that requires very little of my time, using software and virtual assistants. And I'm also going to show you my eBay account and like the results I've been getting just so you can see what the possibilities are of eBay dropshipping. So just to kind of give you a quick idea of where I'm at right now, I have a total of 10 eBay stores I'm running. Across all of my eBay stores, I have a total of 80,000 total listings, and this setup is currently doing over 5,000 in profit every single month. And the best part is I'm not sitting there all day spending hours running every single part of my eBay accounts. I'm not manually doing the listing or the order fulfillment or the customer service anymore. That's the entire point of this video, is to show you my exact system and how I automate it to where I don't have to spend all day doing it and I'm still able to bring in over 5,000 every single month. So my background is actually in eBay reselling. That's what I did all throughout high school. I definitely made some good money from it and learned a lot of good business skills. Once I got to college, it just became a lot harder, and since I didn't have a car, I couldn't be driving around all day looking for inventory. It was just way too time consuming and I didn't have the resources to continue that business. And that's when I started eBay dropshipping, and I listed my first dropshipping item in September of 2024, which was my freshman year. At the very beginning though, I was pretty much doing everything by hand. I was finding products on Amazon and listing them all by myself, as well as handling the fulfillment when orders came in and then responding to customer messages. And it definitely took up a lot of my time, especially when I was juggling classes in college. But I got some sales early on, which gave me the confidence to keep going. I wasn't making a crazy amount of money yet, but I had proof that this business model worked. As I kept going though, I started investing in software tools to kind of speed the process up. And some of them helped for sure, but I kept running into the same issue. I couldn't list the amount of products I wanted to because a lot of it was still manual work. And I was trying to list hundreds and even thousands of items, and it just wasn't possible with the tools I was using. And with eBay dropshipping, volume matters a lot because the more listings you have, the more money you're going to make. That's really how you scale it. I wanted to scale a lot quicker, but the tools I had in front of me didn't allow me to do that, because I was pretty much doing everything by hand still. That was for sure the biggest bottleneck I had. So I eventually decided to build my own AI software, which would find me winning products and then list them for me automatically. And that's really what changed this entire eBay dropshipping business for me. And so the first way I kind of automated my eBay store with this AI software is through product research and finding winning products automatically. So I'll kind of walk you guys through now how that works and how my tool is able to find me winning products and spit out proven items that are going to sell on my eBay store. So just to kind of give you an overview of what this tool is doing, is it's first looking up an Amazon product onto eBay, and then it's finding other eBay dropshippers. And then it's going to go through those eBay dropshipper storefronts and then find their hot selling products that we can then list for ourselves onto our own account. We're finding proven products that are already doing well for other people, and then we can list those straight onto our own account. So here's kind of how it works. I'm going to show you the process I do to find links. And so I'm first starting with an Amazon link. You can pretty much choose any one. I went with this carburetor kit for a car right here. And so what we'll do next after we found our link is we'll go over to our product research tool, and then we'll go ahead and select our price range of Amazon items that we want. I typically do 10 to 50, and what this means is that if I were to do 10 to 50, it's only going to give us Amazon products within that price range. This is kind of how you control what price range of items end up on your eBay store for you to sell. So I typically keep it at that, and then we'll go ahead and put in our Amazon URL below here. So after we have that plugged in there, we're going to go ahead and click collect sellers. And that's going to do the part where it actually finds other people who are dropshipping this item on eBay, and it's going to put those sellers into a list for us. That's kind of how you always want to do product research on eBay, is you want to find what's selling for other people because we know it's proven items. So as we can see here, we'll go back to our product research tool, and it's going to give us a list of 5 people or 5 eBay dropshippers that we can scan for products. And so the next step of this process would be to click scan sellers. And that's going to actually go through their storefronts, find what they're selling, and then it's going to return us with a giant list of Amazon products based on those items that they're selling. So essentially, it's going to give us a giant list of top selling products that we can go ahead and list for ourselves. So we'll go ahead and click that button here. And as you can see, it's going to filter through only items these sellers have sold. And it's going to, after it's done collecting, it's going to go ahead and look these items up on Amazon and then give us Amazon links based on these items. So it would go through and then scan every single product that it just found. And you can literally find thousands of products within like 15 to 20 minutes of just letting this thing run. It looks like we have around 100 products now saved up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this process off, but it would keep going until it scanned all these products, and it would most likely end up with like 1,000 plus for this example, but we'll go ahead and stop it. And then what we'll do is we will now move on to the listing part. So now that we've found our proven products, here's what the software is going to do next. It's going to take all of these winning products that we just found with our product research tool, and then it's going to list them onto our eBay account at a marked up price. That way, when we sell an item on eBay, we simply go back to Amazon, find the product, and then fulfill it, and we'll make a profit on the difference. So now I'll walk you through kind of how the listing process works with the software. It's only a few clicks, but I'll go ahead and show you guys. So pretty much after we have the amount of links we want, we'll just simply go ahead down here on the product research tool and click add to lister. And then we're going to go ahead and scroll up back to the top and then go to where it says the auto lister section right here. That's where all of our listings get done. And so there's kind of three things we have to put in before we go ahead and set these links out and set these products to get listed onto our account. That is our markup, our promoted ad rate, and then the amount of links we want to list. And typically for my markup percentage, I like to take that higher markup approach. That way, when I sell an item, I'm making a lot more profit than most people. So typically I do 100% markup on all of my items, and people do still buy it. That's kind of a big misconception out there. People think, why would anyone buy it at that markup? But when you're playing the volume approach and you're listing thousands and thousands of products, you're going to sell items with a high markup, and you're going to make a ton of profit every sale you do get. And so we'll go ahead now and do the promoted ad rate. I typically always keep this at 5%. And that's pretty much how we're advertising on eBay. We only pay this fee though after our item sells, so there's no upfront cost. We just simply put in a percentage of advertisement we want there, which is 5. That's normally what I do. And then we put the amount of links we want to list. And since we only had around 120 from our product research tool, we couldn't go over that. But if you had more, you could obviously choose a higher number here. But for this example right here, we'll just go ahead and do 100 links. And so after we're done with all those things, we'll go ahead and click start. And then pretty much what it's going to do is start opening up these Amazon tabs, scraping all the information, and then it's essentially converting these Amazon products into an eBay listing. It's making the title a bit better, the description a bit better, adding an image template, and then the most important part, increasing the price for us. That way, when we sell an item, we're going to go ahead and make a profit. So as you can see here, I don't have any hands on my computer at all. It's simply going to run through fully automated, almost like a robot on your computer. And it's going to input all the information for you. As you can see, I just uploaded the photos here. And then it's going to move down throughout the eBay listing form. And then once all the info is filled in, it's going to go ahead and submit the listing and then move on to the next link. So you don't have to really touch it at all. The best thing to kind of do is to run this before you go to bed, and then in the morning you'll just wake up to more products. And once one listing gets done, you don't have to manually move on to the next one, which is kind of an issue I ran into with a lot of other softwares. I had to, list them one by one. Even though a lot of it was automated, I wasn't able to do kind of a whole batch of listings all in one go. And so with this tool that I built, I'm able to list tons and tons of products all in a row without touching my computer at all. So it'll fill in the description there, and then it's going to put in our higher price, and then it's going to put in our ad rate we put in at the start, and then it's going to click the list it button, and then this item is going to go live onto our eBay store. As we can see, it went live, and then it just moves on to the next link, and it's a cycle that keeps repeating until the lister bot goes through all of the links we had queued up for it. So you can easily do hundreds of products overnight, and that's kind of how you scale your store and get more sales. And that's why I've been so successful with eBay dropshipping, is because I've just done so much volume and so many listings across my accounts. And so the software handles two major parts of the business, which is product research and finding winning products, as well as listing products onto your store. However, that leaves a few things that still take up a lot of time. And those main two things are order fulfillment on the account when you get a sale, as well as customer service. And if you're running like one account or even maybe up to 3 accounts, this really won't be too much of a hassle and won't take up a lot of time because your volume isn't going to be anything too crazy. So you can definitely handle it yourself for a while. But once it got to 10 eBay accounts, it really did increase the workload a lot. And I really didn't want to be doing all that work on the eBay accounts while I was in college and balancing other stuff. So I decided to bring in 2 virtual assistants to run my eBay stores. And those 2 VAs each have 5 total eBay accounts. That's kind of how I split it up. So their jobs are pretty much to do order fulfillment, which essentially is when a sale comes in on the eBay account, they're going back to Amazon and ordering that product directly to the eBay customer. And then they're also managing everything that comes along with customer service. So like buyer complaints, buyer messages, and questions about an item. When a buyer wants to return an item, or like a buyer says their item hasn't arrived, just kind of anything that deals with keeping customers happy and addressing their needs, the VA is doing that. And this setup completely changed my entire role with this eBay dropshipping business. I'm not the one doing all the tedious tasks and all the busy work on the accounts. I turned into more of like a manager type role, just making sure my VAs are doing all the work and kind of training them initially at the start. So I'm pretty much able to focus on the growth and the scaling part of the business. And the nice part about it is there's a site called onlinejobs.ph, which can easily allow you to find a virtual assistant if you want to choose to go down that route for your eBay store. And a lot of the time you can find someone with prior experience doing the exact same thing. A lot of these people from the Philippines and from Pakistan already have experience running eBay dropshipping stores, so you can pretty much plug them right into your operation without much training at all. At the end of the day, paying a virtual assistant really isn't too much of a burden because they're doing so much work for you, and it's taking a lot of that work off your hands and allowing you to scale your business so much further. So you're probably now wondering what my average day looks like as a college student running this eBay dropshipping operation. And the truth though is that my setup is honestly pretty simple. I keep all 10 eBay stores on different computers. That way I can simply remote into each device using a software like AnyDesk, essentially allowing me to log into each eBay store pretty easily, which keeps everything organized and just separate from each other. So usually when I wake up, that's when my virtual assistants are done working because that's a big time zone difference. It's around 12 hours behind. So when I wake up at around 9 a.m., it's around 9 p.m. for them, and they're finishing up work or already have been finished. And so in the morning is when I typically like to go through these accounts and remote into them from AnyDesk and just kind of check the work of my virtual assistants, make sure they've done all the orders, dealt with all the customer messages, and that's also when I'll do my listing as well with the AI software. And so I'll simply log into each of the 10 accounts and check the work, use my AI bot to list products and find products if I ran out of some. And essentially that's how my morning routine looks, which only takes me around 20 minutes per day before I go to class. And on my main account that has more listings than the rest and that I've been running for a longer period of time, I'll actually list on that one before I go to bed, just set some links out, queue them up before I go to bed. That way I can get some extra listings in and capitalize off that extra volume. So day to day, it's really not some crazy operation that's taking me all day. It's taking me around 20 minutes per day of work. And that's because I kind of have two phases of automation where I use an AI bot to find products for me and list them onto my account, as well as the virtual assistants I hired who take care of the day-to-day tasks and kind of the tedious stuff that take a long time and that I just could easily outsource and focus on scaling the business. So now I'm more of a manager type role where I focus on just getting more listings up, which is the big driver of sales, as well as getting more eBay accounts, kind of the stuff that's going to move the needle and actually make me more money. So now I'm going to kind of walk through how the numbers work and kind of the system more in depth with like the economics of everything. And so as far as performance goes, for me, not every account is doing the same exact amount of sales, and that pretty much is because of the listing difference on some of the accounts. Most of my accounts have around 8,000 to 10,000 listings, which is kind of what I aim for, but there's some that have more than that. Like my main account, for example, has 25,000 total listings because I've been running it for a longer period of time, and I've just been trying to scale it a bit more. And so typically on my accounts with around 10,000 items listed, I'll do around 5 to 10 orders per day, but on my main account with 25,000 listings, I get upwards of 20 every single day. And that may not seem like a crazy amount, but I'm running a 100% markup across all my 10 eBay accounts. So every time I get a sale, I'm making some really decent profit. And typically what that looks like is every sale I get is anywhere from $5 to $15 in profit. Typically my average is 8 to 10, but anywhere within that 5 to 15 range is typically what I see. So if I get like 10 orders a day, for example, on an account, then I'm going to probably be making anywhere from like 50 to $100+ in profit. And that's why I focus so much on volume and that high markup approach, is because I'm just trying to get so many listings up on my account with that high markup that every time I sell an item, I'm going to be making a ton of profit. And when you have so many listings, you're just eventually going to get consistent sales every day, and the profit just keeps adding up month over month. So that's exactly why I've grown to over 80,000 total listings across my stores, is because I know how important the volume approach is, and every listing you have up every new listing you do is another chance to get a sale on an item. And what's cool about this whole eBay dropshipping operation is there's so many other people around me who are making money off this exact same setup that I'm using and running their own eBay dropshipping stores. For example, my brother just started doing eBay dropshipping just a month and a half ago, and he's already at over 3.5 thousand in total sales. He literally had no prior experience really at all on eBay, and especially not eBay dropshipping. He started at 0 listings on his account and grew it to over 4,000 listings in around a month and a half, and now he's at that 3.5 thousand sales figure. And a bunch of my college buddies, as well as pretty much all of my roommates, are killing it with the same setup as well. One of my buddies has a total of 3 eBay accounts and the other one has 2, and they're just continuing to scale the operation, and they're just making more and more money week over week because they continue listing with the AI bot. So it's not some random one-off thing that I'm doing. I'm not doing anything crazy or anything unattainable for the average person. It's simply following a proven system and just taking the volume approach, listing tons and tons of products, and you're setting yourself up for success and getting consistent sales when you do that. Okay, now I want to show you guys my main eBay account, the one I was talking about with over 25,000 listings, and kind of the results I'm seeing on that, just to kind of show you guys what's attainable with this setup and just kind of the results of taking the volume approach and listing tons of products on eBay. So this account I've been running for around a year and a half now. It's the first account I started on when I was a freshman in college. So I've just been continuing to list on it every single day, and now I'm reaping the benefits from that. So as we can see here, it has 24,950 items, and my plan is to continue scaling that and just keep going. Honestly, the sky's the limit here. So I'm going to keep using my AI bot to go ahead and list products onto this store, but let's kind of walk through some of the numbers and how this store is doing numbers wise. So as we can see here right at the top, we have done over 53,000 in total sales in the last 90 days. And keep in mind, that's not profit, obviously, that's just sales, the amount of items I've sold. And in terms of orders in that same 90-day period, I've done 1,147 orders total. And the best part is that my virtual assistants took care of all of this. They're amazing, and they did all this order fulfillment work for me, which was awesome, and I was able to just focus on getting the listings up and scaling my stores. So as we can see here, this is consistent growth, and that's what you guys are going to see as well as you start listing more items. So as we can see, I used to do like 900 here in January, and then it's increasing all the way up to over 1,000 a day pretty much. I've done $800 in sales today, and yesterday I did 1,700 in sales, which was great. And I actually had one day where I did 2,200 in sales. That was actually my highest day of sales ever. And if you're wondering kind of what the profit looks like typically on, let's say a $1,000 sales day, typically I'm making around 20% of that. So around $200 in profit. And that's actually a lot higher of a profit margin than most sellers on eBay. A lot of people stick with like a 30 to 50% markup, which just does not yield them very much profit per sale. But since I'm doing the higher markup approach, I'm able to make a lot more money for every sale I get. Kind of these are examples of sales I've been getting. I sold this rechargeable stun gun LED flashlight type thing for $119.99, and then this exhaust blower motor thing for $79.99. So those are some higher price sales, which is always good. It means more profit. But yeah, this account is definitely doing very well, and my best performing account for sure. I do have other accounts that are doing really, really well, but most of those other accounts that I have are only at around 10,000 total listings, so I can't expect them to be making profit since this one's at 25,000 listings. But these results really are attainable for anyone out there. Really, all I did was list Amazon products onto eBay at a higher price. Obviously, I have virtual assistants and like an AI bot that helps me with that, but that's accessible by anyone out there, and you can literally copy my exact setup and start making money from this literally right off the bat as a complete beginner. Okay, and so if you're watching this and seeing all these numbers and thinking like there's no way, if I'm a complete beginner, if I'm starting from zero, there's no way I'm gonna get to the point where I'm making as much as you, then I really want to reassure you and say this setup can be done by anybody and doesn't require really any upfront skills at all. And when I was a freshman in college, I literally just started with one eBay account, and then I slowly scaled up. You definitely don't need a virtual assistant when you first start listing. It's all about getting success early on and then continuing to scale as you get more comfortable with eBay dropshipping and you set up the systems in place to allow you to actually scale. The biggest thing I would say for a beginner is just having some sort of system that allows you to find winning products and list them super fast. And for me, I started doing everything by hand, but honestly, nowadays, I would recommend just starting off with an AI bot similar to the one I built. Not even trying to sell the AI bot to you guys. It really is the best way to actually start selling on eBay if you want to do eBay dropshipping, because it allows you to just find products and list them super quick. I mean, you definitely can find success by hand, and I know a lot of people who are starting off by hand and getting sales. It's just harder to scale. So it really just depends where you want to take this. And if you want to capitalize off it and make the most money off your eBay store, then I really would recommend using some sort of automation to get listings up quicker. And if you want to check out the AI bot that I built and I use across my 10 eBay stores, it's called Dropanion, and I have it linked in the description. I also have a free starter kit below that'll take you to a Discord, which will show you exactly how to set up your eBay account as well as get your first listing up onto your account. And if you want more personal help and want to hop on a call with me just to discuss any questions you may have, then feel free to use the link in my description. It's a Calendly link that allows you to book a call with me. Just pick a time slot that works for you. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for future videos on eBay dropshipping and making money online. And I will see you in the next one.